Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We are so glad that you're here with us today. Your soul is welcome here, and I think you're in the right place at the right time.
Just where you are meant to be, whether you're live streaming or here in person. We're going to sing about how we are all welcome here. You ready? Let's do it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul, oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Your soul is welcome. All souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul. Oh, everybody is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yes, it is. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. No matter what color or culture, sexual orientation, political or religious affiliation. One God, many paths. Everybody's welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Your soul is welcome here, as is everyone else who is here today.
Good morning, Reverend James. It's wonderful to be here. And we greet you this morning in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community spiritual life center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, and of course, stone temples, and of course, the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no space that God does not grace. And if you are with us for the very first time today, whether you are online, watching us online, or here in the sanctuary, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. Every single one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And it just makes us so happy to be together. And it makes us even happier if you silence your electronic devices. And please refrain from flash photography during the service. Thank you.
Well, let's take a moment as we recognize that we have a direct line to this presence, a presence that may be beyond words, that may be a mystery to the human mind, but is more real to us than anything else. For out of everything that we see in the outer, the foundation is this presence. So as we make it the activity of our awareness in thought, word, and action, we begin to radiate all the qualities of this presence in our life and in our world. So we begin to demonstrate to others from where we have come. So we demonstrate the peace that passes all understanding, love that is beyond measure, joy, wisdom, health, wholeness, vitality, vigor, and the infinite possibilities that lie before us come from this presence. So we're grateful to be the vessels and channels of this presence so that we can let God be God through and as us. And we anchor in our life and in our world a little bit more of the expanding good that is available to us. For this and so much more, we're grateful and thankful as we do our part to anchor this presence in our life. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. We have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center as reflected in our mission statement. And I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we do so as we carry out these 5 basic universal principles and make them the activity of our life and live them out to the very best of our ability. Again, let's affirm them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. We must take action.
And we've actually got some big action right after service. First of all, the Light the World silent auction, the bids close on those at 1 o'clock today. However, the Tower of Wine raffle featuring those 21 wines from around the world will take place at 12:45 in the courtyard today. And we just want to say thank you for all of the people who have participated at all levels of our yearly gala events. So thank you so much.
It's been magnificent. I don't know if some of you all remember, but I remember back in the day there was a program with Laurel and Hardy. And we have some good news for those who happen to be fans of Laurel and Hardy. The Laurel and Hardy group, they call themselves A Fine Mess, screens movies once a quarter right here at Spiritual Life Center. And everyone's invited to view A Chump at Oxford and The Live Ghost. That'll be next Sunday between 1 and 3:30 p.m. And you don't have to have a reservation to show up and enjoy the show. Laurel and Hardy. We're going back in time, but, it's still some funny stuff. And I'm going to have come to the cabaret. Yes. Come to the cabaret. We got some announcements here.
Go ahead.
No.
That's the announcement. That's the announcement.
Come to the cabaret.
Oh, chum.
All right.
Okay. When is it?
Friday.
This Friday. So if you haven't got your tickets, you want to get online or go in the courtyard and get your tickets. There's going to be a lot of fun happening. Some people have cooked up some very funny and fun and spooky things. And Larry actually wrote an original song that she's going to share with us called Science and Energy. And you're going to see some faces up there that you did not see last time, along with some of the familiar ones. So it should be a lot of fun. And this is our night to celebrate our community and have fun. So get your tickets. 6 o'clock, there's a reception in the courtyard, and the program is from 7 to 9. See you there.
All righty.
And SLC is proud and honored to host the Darshana Hindu exhibit. And this is a national traveling exhibit that has been probably around the country already, and we're so happy to have them here. The word darshana is a Sanskrit word that means viewing the sacred. And the entire exhibit consists of about 24 panels of all aspects of Hindu culture, history and religion, and contributions to society. We expect about 20 of those panels to be brought here to be on display at SLC. And like I said, this has already been around the country, but they will only be here for 3 hours, from 1 to 4 on Saturday, November 5th. They will come in, they will set it up, people will come and view them, they will take it down, and they will go to their next destination. So this is your opportunity to see this amazing exhibit.
It's going to be extraordinarily good. Well, just to remind you, on November the 20th is our Gratitude Sunday. And this year we're going to have a friend of mine, and Reverend Ron Colombo, who's going to be our guest speaker. And Ron has been teaching and his healing empowerment workshops at Unity and New Thought churches for over 30 years. And so he'll not only just be the Sunday speaker, he's going to have a couple of workshops. One's going to be right after service on Gratitude Sunday, and it's going to be a 4-hour workshop entitled Using the Law of Attraction Wisely. And if you want to go to a deeper dive, you can join him the Monday and Tuesday after that. He's going to have the Healing and Empowerment series, and you can sign up for the whole series. And as I mentioned earlier in the first service, you can just come to the Sunday service and the workshop, or just come to the workshop, or just go to the class on Monday and Tuesday, or you just sign up for all of things if you just want to go in all out. So just check it out. You can go to our website and start registering, I believe, next week.
And remember, we have many, many activities here at Spiritual Life Center, including weekly small groups. So to discover all the happenings at SLC, obviously you can go to the website. If you are here on site, you can go outside, look at the bulletin board, go over and chat with the lovely people at the hub, and you can find out anything that you might want to know and learn how to register for classes.
And let's see what we got here. Chaplains and our board members. Any of them here today? We invite you to please stand. Yes, we thank them for their presence this morning. And the chaplains are wearing the white stoles. So if you have a prayer need, you may be going through a challenge or something that you need to have prayed over, they're available to pray with you in the courtyard right after the service. Or if you just want to have something that you want to celebrate, they'll be more than happy to amplify the celebration energy for you as well. So we thank them for their consciousness and what they bring to our community and the service that they provide for Spiritual Life Centers. We thank them for their presence today. And our board members do very important work behind the scenes that many folks do not see. And the work that they do helps us move forward collectively as a community. And they bring their time, their talent, their skills, and all of their consciousness to help us be a viable community in these interesting times. So we thank them for their service, and they're available to answer questions if you'd like to have a question asked of them, and they'll answer it to the best of their ability. So we thank the board members for their service to our community.
And we love to welcome our newcomers. And in a moment, if you are a first-timer, we will ask you to raise your hand. But first, we want you to know there are many ways to become connected at Spiritual Life Center. And one way to do that is to fill out the welcome card. That welcome card is available online. You can go to our website, fill out the card and submit it, and we will get back to you that way. If you are here on site and you raise your hand, we'll bring you the card. You can fill it out and then take it to the welcome table in the courtyard. And out there is a warm welcome and a very special gift.
So at this time, if anyone's here for the very first time, we just invite you to raise your hand so you can get the welcome card, and we'll be bringing something to you, not only the welcome card, but also a purple ribbon. And if you like to wear that, we can give you that special Spiritual Life Center greeting. And we just want to let you know that we appreciate your presence here today. And we support you on your journey in life and for your spiritual growth and development and unfoldment. And just know that you are a magnificent expression of the divine, and we're blessed to have you here at Spiritual Life Center. So at this time, we just invite folks not only to greet maybe folks who are new, but to greet one another in a manner that feels comfortable for you, and just say, you are marvelous, glad you are here.
And we invite you to stay standing and join us in singing our Faith in Action song, I Got the Power. Are you ready? You got the power? Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. By cosmic design, audaciously fine, I align with my divine identity. So let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. A pure heart and mind, intentions refine, I align with my divine identity. Oh, let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light, all light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the power. I got the power. Ooh, I got the power. I got the power. I got the power to live faithfully. I got the power to forgive and release. I got the power to breathe life to my dreams. I got the power to create reality. I got the power to compare and contrast. I got the power to erase my hurtful past. I got the power to choose a direction. I got the power to question my perception. I got the power to be stronger than before, to step through that open door, to honor our life. I got the power to be peace and harmonize. I got the power to break the chains of habit. I got the power to shimmer and dazzle. I got the power. So let there be
Well, if you didn't know it before, you know it now. You got the power. Well, we know in our Faith in Action series, and we study a text every year. And one of the things that we do during Faith in Action is have our resident artists to present their artwork to give a pictorial representation of the lesson for each week. And so today we have two artists. We have, first of all, Kiki Crawford from our YLU, and a very talented individual. Yes. And here's what Kiki writes. The light of zeal and power, enthusiastic, single-minded devotion to purpose is the audacious power of zeal, which must be tempered by understanding and wisdom. Google defines zeal as great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. As a figure skater, I use enthusiasm as inspiration. My skating career has made it so I can better myself mentally and physically while still having fun. My peace represents me on the ice. It resembles my happy place, my home. When I'm on the ice, I feel like nothing can stop me. That's what zeal means to me. My light shines for all to see. So that's Kiki Crawford on her podium. Zeal and power. And I believe she's got some other paintings out there in the courtyard for you to see and maybe even purchase so you can support her. Well, our second artist is the one and only Paul Sanchez. And the title of his painting is The Aztec Warrior Princess. And this is what he writes. I was asked what category my art falls into. I replied that they lean toward the spiritual. I don't do portraits, I heard myself say. I felt a rush of emotion at my throat. The words were stuck there. I knew the feeling was fear, but I sensed that it was power trying to emerge. Sitting with my fear of portrait painting, I decided to face and work through it. The denial became a reframe, then gradually an affirmation. It was as if I said, Satan or ego, get behind me. The mastery over ego thought was more than ego get behind me, but became ego back me up and light my way. See, the ego is trying to get in the way there. My expression of the light of power emerged as a portrait. The Aztec warrior princess has fully stepped into her power. She holds herself tall, graceful, her eyes depicting awareness of her surroundings, her hands gently pulling, gently pushing as she coexists and lovingly communes with nature. As a warrior, she is one who sacrifices herself for the good of others. Her task is to take care of the elderly, the defenseless, those who cannot provide for themselves, and above all, the children, the future of humanity. Sitting Bull. As a princess, she is regal, yet has overcome the earth. As Charles Fillmore says, her material consciousness is raised to spiritual consciousness. Power is the ability to convert an idea into words that are spoken, actions taken, and things built. Our power faculty is our capacity to transform energy from one form to another. In New Thought, God is the one presence and one power. We draw on the one power and transform our thinking, feeling, body, and environment and world. Wisdom and judgment decides. Will directs. Power acts on the decision as directed. It is not I, but the spirit within that does the work. I can now say I do portraits. Spirit does portraits. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us Aztec Warrior Princess. So, Aztec Warrior Princess.
As we settle in for the contemplative portion of our service, I invite you to step into the power of these words, which are our vision statement, and let's speak them out loud together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. Now we're going to sing this beautiful chant yet another time. I am as God created me.
In the light, in the love, in the glory, which is exactly what both of those artists demonstrated, being that light, being that love, being that glory. Let's also take some of that zeal and power and put it into this song. What do you say? Please join me in singing. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light. In the love, in the glory of God, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory.
As we move into this time of meditation, allow the vibration of that beautiful chant to move into the depths of your soul. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory of God. I am. Feel how your entire body responds to this truth. I am. Breathe that in deep into your belly. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing your breath to come into its natural rhythm. Feel your body relaxing, your mind softening with each breath. You are breathing in the breath of creation, of life itself, of spirit. Allow your breath to carry you deeper and deeper into the core of your being, to that place of still waters, that place where we feel the presence of God, the presence of all that is, that presence of all that we are. Feel the warmth in the area of your heart and just relax into the allness of God. This allness of God is available to us in every moment. During this time of faith and action, we are awakening to the qualities of God that allow us to be fully alive in our lives. Awaken us, God, to zeal, that inner fire, excuse me, that gives us enthusiasm for life and devotion to our purpose. Awaken us to our divine power, our power of concentration, self-mastery, and spiritual authority. In each moment, immersed in spirit, we are guided in how to access these qualities of being and how to express them in our day-to-day lives. As we embody these powers, our bodies and our lives are transformed and healed. And in that healing, we raise the vibration of peace on the planet. Peace on earth happens one person at a time. And so we open our hearts, we open our minds, we open our very soul to you, God. In this very moment, feel your Creator, your God, pouring into you. Every cell renewed. Every cell knowing its wholeness and radiating the light, the love that you are. You're here to shine, to be the light. It only takes one light to dispel the darkness, and that light is you. As we take a moment in the silence, rest here in the light of your Creator, the light of your God. Thank you, God, for our awareness of these qualities of being that enrich our experience of life, that inspire us to be the best that we can be. Here we are, God. Use us. Shine your light through us so brightly that the whole world wakes up to you. Thank you, God.
I am one, simple and plain. No superpowers, no famous name, but I stand tall, 'cause I believe something greater has come alive inside of me. I have felt the Spirit stirring in my soul, deep in my soul. I will give love, I will speak peace, all because of the love that will speak peace, all because of the love that's got a hold of me. So wide open, so amazing, it takes my breath away when it occurs to me. In a world where so many feel lost, in a world where so many feel lost, in a world where so many feel lost, I know God. I know God.
Thank you, Ann. You sang like you know God. No question. No question. Taking you back to the time that I first entered college many years ago. And I had come from, a challenging environment and, what we consider an inner city school, didn't have a lot of resources. And I guess you say at that time, I was one of the big fish in a little pond. But then I ended up going to what we consider a prestigious university. And I was a little tiny fish in a huge pond. And it seemed that everyone there knew more because I was struggling at the time. And I would look around and it seemed like everyone knew more. They were better prepared. And I probably had what they would call the imposter syndrome, asking myself, what in the heck am I doing here? Of course, later on, I talked with other people. They had the same feeling. They just didn't show it. But I had a classmate who did really well, and he came from a very challenging background as well. He came from outside the country. And I noticed that he was always in the library. And he put in a lot of effort. And he did really well, so I said, well, I'm going to do what he does. I'm going to go there and try to follow him and just stay there in the library as long as he did. And so I'd get up early and go have breakfast. I'd go to the library. He was already there. I'd be hanging in there for a few hours, and then I'd go to lunch, and I'd see him still sitting over there working. I'd come back from lunch, he's still there in the same spot. I'd go to dinner, and I didn't think he left at all because I'd come back, and I asked myself, does this dude even eat? So I decided to ask him, how you do it? And he went back to tell me that he comes from a very, poor village, a town that he lived in outside the country. Yeah, life was hard for him. And that many of the things that we take for granted, like water, were sometimes hard to come by. And he rarely had any books at school. But he decided that he was going to be an engineer, which is one of the hardest majors, I think, at the time when I was in school. And I imagine that he said to me that he saw when he could make a difference to his community and his country. And he said that what fueled him. It kept him enthused when he thought he would give up. And as I look back now, I realize he demonstrated the power of zeal. Now we're looking at our fourth week of our series based on the text Divine Audacity by Lina Martella-Whitsett. And today we're looking at the powers and the faculties of zeal, the power of power. And those who were here last week, Reverend Deborah talked about will and imagination. She did a phenomenal job with that. But this week we look at zeal. Zeal means it's something that's directed in energy. It's focused on an ideal. And normally when we think of zeal, we think of high energy and manifest in the outer world that way. And yes, it does show up often like that. Yet zeal originates something within us. It is an inner flame. It is a single devotion to one's purpose. So it starts with that inner flicker and then outwardly expresses as that high vibrational energy or zeal. You know, another word for zeal is enthusiasm. And enthusiasm comes from the Latin term, I think, entheos, which means in God. And when we begin to stay enthused about life, then that sense of separation that we sometimes have from this source, this power we call God, begins to dissolve. Like a fog dissolves before the rising sun. In that sense of separation, you know, we eliminate fear, we eliminate doubt, we eliminate that whenever we get involved in the zeal. Because when we lift our vibration, that doubt, that fear begins to dissolve, begins to dissipate. And that fog dissolves like Moses parting the Red Sea, because it's unclouded by any sense of lack or any sense of limitation. I was reminded of this when I thought about a boxing promoter. His name was Don King. I don't know if you know Don King. He had the hair that was like electrified. It's almost like he stuck his fingers in a socket, electricity, and you know his hair would just fly up like that. And he was extremely successful. He had a lot of other things going on too, but he was basically successful. And people asked him, "What is the basis of your success?" And he said, you know, enthusiasm. Because if you set yourself on fire, the whole world will come to watch you burn. He was speaking figuratively, of course. But what we're seeking to do is set ourselves on fire internally with zeal. And then let the doubts and the fears and the worries begin to burn away as life bears witness to the presence and the love of God that is everywhere present. I call it omniactive. You know, the co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, when he was 94 years young, said that I fairly sizzle with zeal, energy, and enthusiasm, eager to do that which ought to be done by me today. He captured that zeal. I'm going to capture that zeal when I'm 94 too. But I think that's what my college classmate had done. He captured that inner power, that inner zeal, because he had a divine purpose that he was working on. But he went within first. I noticed they always spent a lot of time just connecting. And I believe that we have to do the same or do exactly what the butterfly does. The butterfly kind of has like solar panel wings. And every morning, I imagine it wakes up and spreads its wings and it absorbs the sunlight from the sun. And when it's full, it goes throughout the course of the day, flower to flower, flapping and just being beautiful. We wake up every day and we're here to stretch our spiritual wings, so to speak, by coming in alignment with the Son of God within the very soul of our being. And we do that, then we become fueled by this presence, and this enthusiasm that's within us becomes very real for us. And it becomes more powerful than the circumstances that we may be facing throughout the course of the day. When we're filled with that zeal and enthusiasm, then we move through our day flapping our wings, walking and talking and exhorting and expressing the name and the nature of the pure Spirit of God. When we're filled with that presence, when we're filled with that enthusiasm, when we're filled with that zeal, great things begin to happen. Because we begin to see possibilities all around us. I always believe that, you know, when there's maybe a pessimistic consciousness around us, no one here, but you probably know people like that. You know, when we have that kind of consciousness, we cut off the possibilities that are always there for us. You know, individuals will have that kind of apathetic or pessimistic consciousness. If you bring them an idea, there's something that will move us forward or something exciting, they will say, "Oh, that will never work." Please keep those people away from us. Because when we have two or more people awash with zeal and enthusiasm coming together, what they do, they dream castle. And dream castling is when we imagine and see ourselves doing great things in our life, despite what the appearances may be. We see great possibilities in life, and without censoring ourselves or qualifying it or doubting it, we say, wouldn't it be wonderful to take that exotic trip to where we're going? Wouldn't it be wonderful to start that project or business that's going to help someone? Wouldn't it be wonderful to write that book that is within us waiting to come out? Now, the unzealous pessimist will say, how are you going to find time to do that? How are you going to find time to take that trip or leave your job? Where's the money going to come from? Where's the resources going to come from? Where's the time going to come from? But really, when we're enthused with the presence of God, that's not our job. And we hang out in the what? We hang out in the enthusiasm. We hang out in that octave. We hang out in that vibration. And then the heart desire will find us worthy. And we become the rich soil and witness as the universe becomes what's necessary for us to do what we are here to do. But we must allow ourselves to lift our awareness and stay there long enough without dissipating, and then watch as that grand universe that's always there for us moves us into the right place or changes the course of history for us, so the entire universe becomes what is necessary for the dream that's within us to come out. And then we realize what real power is. It's a song we sung earlier. There's a line in there that said, I got the power. Do you believe that? Yes. Let's say it. I got the power. All right, now, that power doesn't come from us. It comes through us, as us. When I was in ministerial school, we had to go to Silent Unity, which had the daily prayer and connection with the presence. And anytime they had a Silent Unity service, they would start out at the very beginning of the service and say these words: that is not I, but the Christ within that does the work. It is not I, but the Spirit within that does the work. Now, those who know a little bit of history about Unity know that one of the ministers that came out of Unity was the Reverend Dr. Janee Coleman. And she became a minister in the 50s, and because she was one of the first African Americans to go to Unity and be there. But at that time, because of the laws that were in Missouri, she was denied the right to live on the grounds, believe it or not. And she would bring her kids to what would be the rallies to Unity Village grounds during the summer. But some of them were not allowed to swim there. And Dr. Coleman faced a lot of slings and arrows and obstacles as she was navigating her purpose. But she was an unstoppable force because she was fueled by a purpose, and she was filled with that zeal within her. And I remember we were on our class trip, and on the end of the year, we would go, before we graduated, we would go to a certain region of the country and visit, the churches in that region. And we went to the Chicago region. And when we went to her church, she wasn't officially in Unity, but she would always say she was a Unity minister. And she had a spectacular spot. She had like a sanctuary with 4,000 seats in it and would be filled up. And she had a restaurant, and she did all kinds of things in the community. But the thing is that she would always say, no matter what was going on, she would say, I can do all things through the Christ presence that strengthens me. That was her statement. I can all things through the Spirit of God that is within me. She expressed that power. Now, we all have access to that power. We all are that power. As Lina Martella-Whitsett notes in our text, we were created for power. It is in us to succeed. It is in us to move forward. It is in us to accomplish. And we express that power through focus and through concentration. I was reading, I think probably a marketing book, a guy named Dan Henry. And he posed the question in one of his chapters. And he asked, what do Warren Buffett and the late Steve Jobs and the Bill Gates have in common? And his answer was unrelenting focus and concentration. In fact, he was quoting an article that was written by Forbes, and Jobs provided some additional context to what focus and concentration means. And he said that people think focus or concentration means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on. But that's not it at all. It means saying no to the 100 of good ideas that there are. And you have to pick them carefully. And he said, I'm actually proud of the things I haven't done as much as the things I have done. You know, from a spiritual perspective, if we look at this scriptural reference from Matthew, the 6th chapter, and the 22nd verse, it says, let thy eye be single, so thy body shall be full of light. It's another way of describing focus, it's another way of describing concentration. But spiritually, what should we be focusing on? Lina Martella-Whitsett talks about in the book Divine Audacity that we're reading. She asks the question, what is the object of our focus? Regardless of what our job title may be, regardless of what we do in life, or what stage of life we happen to be in right now, I believe it can be found in this statement, and she also quoted as well in Philippians, the 4th chapter and the 8th verse, which also happens to be one that I chose when I was a ministerial student my first year when they asked, what's my favorite scriptural reference? And for me, it's the whatevers, the whatsoevers. I call it the whatsoevers. I always thought there should be a singing group called the whatsoevers, but that's a whole nother story. But here's what it says. Whatsoever is just, whatsoever is pure, whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever of good report, whatsoever of any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. When we direct our attention to these divine attributes, we shall get the whole Spirit of God within us. That is the source of real power. Emily Cady, in her book, Lessons in Truth, writes, God does not have power. It is power itself. This presence, this force, is the power we want to put our faith in. We talked about our faith faculty, I think, a couple weeks ago. We have all the faith we're ever going to have. The question is, where are we going to put it? If we think the power is outside of that presence, then we put our faith in idols, or what Linda writes, graven images. We want to put our faith in the whole Spirit of God, also known as the force. I like to call it the force. And when we rely on the force, we're stepping into the mystical realm of spirituality. It's in the mystical realm where real power is. When I think of that realm, I'm reminded of the scene from one of my favorite movies, Star Wars, earlier on, the earlier movies. And there's a scene where Luke Skywalker is in a spaceship in a battle with the Death Star. And they're closing in on him. And then he hears the voice that says, use the Force, Luke. See, they're understanding it right now. They're. So when he uses the force, he turns off his computer, his targeting computer, and he begins to trust his intuition. And then he successfully maneuvers his way to escape. This invisible, unseen something is not just limited to a story in Star Wars, but can be there to support us in our journey as well. Divine audacity and being the light of the world can sometimes sound unrealistic if we think that we have to do it all by ourselves. However, we don't have to do that. There are resources that we can access. Maybe we can't see it, but they're greater and more powerful than the resources that we can see. And just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. There are invisible resources ready to make a profound difference in what you and I can achieve in life. We don't achieve our dreams or our full potential through our own might, through our own power, through our own will only. We do so by taking advantage of the power that we cannot see. The challenge is that sometimes they're beyond human explanation or understanding. But this force can support us in amazing ways. And they will come to us in all kinds of ways. It might be a flash while we're sitting in the silence by ourselves. It may come to us in a dream. It It may come to us while we're jogging or walking or just daydreaming or maybe working out. It may be like a mere coincidence in our own mind, but it's not just a coincidence. And I think one way to tease this invisible force and power into existence is to paint a vivid picture in our minds so the force knows exactly what it is that we want and what we need. And it'll show up in ways we never imagined. You know, I know sometimes I might be working on a project. You can't really figure out how to make it all work out, but you're focusing on it. You have the energy and enthusiasm around it. You're walking down the street and you say, "Aren't you Reverend Trapp? I've been looking for you." Well, you wouldn't say that if they wouldn't say that if they didn't look like me. But anyway, the whole idea, you just find exactly what you need along the way. Because when we confidently move in the direction of that picture in our mind, these unseen forces will rally to support us. And they are the most powerful factors around that which will assist us to live an audacious life. You know, as I try to summarize this week, I think to capture zeal and power that is within us, we have to first go within. We have to go within that secret place of the Most High. As the master teacher taught in Matthew, the 6th chapter, and the 6th verse, pray in secret, and the Spirit of the living God that sees in secret will reward you by revealing the truth of your being. The truth is represented in these 12 faculties or powers that we're covering during this series. And we tap into zeal and we tap into power by going within first. That's what we call the real closet consciousness. You go within. Yes, I know over the years, a lot of people have come out of the closet. That's cool. But we want to radiate our zeal and spiritual power. To do that, we have to go in the closet and have a one-on-one power talk with the power. And then we will touch the unchanging truth of our being. Because once that truth touches our consciousness, we are never the same. We've come out. We've been outed by the Spirit. And people see who we really are. To let those qualities of God be God in us, we must be willing to be changed and be willing to grow, be willing to unfold. We must be ready to come under the guidance of pure spirit. And we do it either the easy way or the hard way. But it'll happen somewhere along the line. I've just learned that sometimes pain is nothing more than the effort it takes to hold on to an old thought form. So many people say they want the presence of God. They want the benefits of these God qualities, but they refuse to transform or change to be the place for God to come through. But it takes training. So take one of the powers that we're talking about during this series. Don't try to do all of them. That'd be way too much. Sometimes just take one. Let it flood your awareness, and you will awaken the diviner genes that are in you. I know we have designer genes, but we want diviner genes to be expressed through our life. And you will realize that the good news has been given. We want to zealously rejoice in that realization. The good news has happened. I mean, we don't have to put anything in us. We just need to release the things that are blocking the truth from being expressed through us. As you think about it, what can be greater than you made in the image and likeness and not of God? I mean, what can be greater than that? I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, what can be greater than your history has no power over you, and that you have access to the power that can make your history irrelevant? It does not matter what has happened in your life. It does not matter what you've done or what you have not done, or what you have accomplished or not accomplished. This is the good news. And we begin to celebrate that with zeal. We celebrate that with gusto. And when we do, we are taking responsibility for our awareness and what's flowing through it. Then we're able to hold more power. And like a wire that can hold the intensity of much electricity, we begin to hold more and more of the inspired thought of God. Our attention becomes more focused, more appreciative of the presence of God. And then our genius capacity is increased. And you know what a genius is? A genius is just someone whose attention is not scattered by all the distractions of the day. They're focused, that's all. So we become more focused on the presence of God. Our attention can hold more energy. And we discover that much is accomplished not by doing. We're not caught up in the drama or the distractions of the world, but we're able to channel the presence of God that is moving through us or willing to move through us all of the time. So we're not wasting time on worry. We're not burning ourselves out with fear. We're staying zealously inspired by the presence of God, seeing his face everywhere. My God, in which we move and live and have our being. That is the source of zeal. That's where spiritual power comes from. And with zeal and with power, we become a walking embodiment of being those individuals who carry divine audacity. And so it is. Peace and blessings to you. We have an affirmation that we use each week with our lessons that we have on Sunday and part of our Faith in Action groups. And we affirm it throughout the week. So let's affirm it right now. It's on our screen, and you can do it at home if you're at home or wherever you happen to be watching this. Let's say it together. With zeal, I am devoted to my purpose. Using my power of self-mastery, I concentrate, focus, accomplish. My light shines for all to see. We're here to let our light shine, and we're going to continue to let our light shine. Next week, I'm going to talk about the light of love and the light of wisdom, and the color is blue. I'm pretty sure that's the next color on the rainbow. Every week, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So you can remember what the colors are by thinking about the colors of the rainbow. For those who are at home or wherever you may be watching us online, if you'd like to support Spiritual Life Center, you can do so by sending a gift or offering by simply texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, and click the Donate tab, and it'll give you other ways you can give, including by mail. And if you're watching us on any of the different platforms, you can help spread the word by liking us, setting a comment, subscribing, whatever may be appropriate on the platform that you are on. And for those who are present, we just invite you to take your gift or your offering and symbolically raise it to the heavens. And know if you're giving today or have already given by mail or electronically and automatically that you're in the flow of a principle, a universal principle that says whatever we give out, it does come back to us, perhaps in ways we never imagined. And so with that awareness, let's affirm our offertory blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
I've been running in circles, jumping the hurdles, getting caught in that rush of doing so much. I'm feeling kind of worn out, always checking the boxes, trying to be flawless. Has been spinning my head, catching my breath. I'm too afraid to slow down. I tell myself to keep this up, that God wants more than just my love. But I've been complicating things just like me to overthink. Gotta keep it real simple, keep it real simple. Bring everything right back to ground zero, 'cause it all comes down to this: love God and love people. We're living in a world that keeps breaking. If we're gonna find a way to change it, it all comes down to this: love God and love people. Oh, this is freedom, keys to the kingdom. Knowing life will be loud, love can be loud, 'cause love is what it's all about. I tell myself to keep this up, that all God wants is just my love. No rescues hearts and changes lives. Love is all we need to make things right. Gotta keep it real simple. Keep it so simple. Oh, gotta keep it real simple. Keep it real simple. Bring everything right back to ground zero. 'Cause it all comes down to this: love God and love people. We're living in a world that keeps breaking. If we're gonna find a way to change it, it all comes down to this: love God and love people. Keep on loving. Keep on loving. Oh, it comes down to this: love God and love people. Keep on loving. Keep on loving. It's all about love. It all comes down to this: love God and love people.
I think that sums it up. Love God, love people. You got it all wrapped up in one phrase. Don't need to come to church, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's take a moment and just bless those who have blessed our community with their gifts and their offerings. Those individuals who have given online, those who have given today, those who have given throughout the week or the month. So we can support the spreading of this awareness and consciousness one person at a time, one group at a time, and then ultimately the very planet in which we live, so we may fulfill our potential and be seen at our highest and best. This is our purpose and reason for being here, to let this experience and this presence we call God be expressed through and as us in all that we do and all that we manifest. We also affirm and acknowledge those who have left their prayers in the prayer box today and throughout the week, recognizing that we all have challenges in life from time to time as part of the journey. Yet we remember that we can rest on and lean on this invisible presence that is beyond words and also has the answer even before we know what we're praying for. As that statement goes, before they call, I have already answered you. And our job is to simply raise our awareness and our vibration to be one with this answer, to be one with this presence. And then we see answers being revealed in a most magnificent way. And we are awed and in wonder. So we go forth today knowing that those prayers are answered, and they will continue to go on to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer, where they've been going and having prayer for over 100 years, constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they are in that spirit prayer awareness as well. It is done, and we're grateful. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And with that, let us affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And that's the truth. Let's sing our peace song.
With God
Peace and blessings. Have a great week. Let your light shine with zeal and power.